Hello dear student, welcome in the practical session or the practicals of pharmaceutical chemistry 2. In this we have to see the first experiment, that is the experiment number 1, introduction to the pharmaceutical chemistry, introduction to pharmaceutical chemistry 2 lab, okay, in which we got introduced with the laboratory content of this pharmaceutical chemistry 2 lab. As you are not new for this chemistry lab, you in the first year you already came in the chemistry lab, to deal with the practicals. So but we will for the pharmaceutical chemistry 2 you are coming first time, that's why we are getting introduced with the pharmaceutical chemistry 2 lab. This is the first experiment and it is prepared by myself, Mr. Arif Khan Pathan, senior lecturer, MC Swardi, Institute of Pharmacy Diploma Azim Campus, Camp Pune. So instead of directly going with the first experiment, we'll see your lab manual contents. So this is actually the lab manual of your pharmaceutical chemistry 2 if you are going to deal. So the first page, first I am going to deal with the cover page of this experiment of this manual. That is, this is the same manual for laboratory manual for pharmaceutical chemistry 2 experiments. This is for second year and prepared by, which is given by MSBTE Mumbai, which has different pages. This is the cover page and the front page, and this is the certificate which you have to complete, after the completion of the course, very well. Then the learning objectives, like what are the objectives to study the pharmaceutical chemistry 2, the link diagram and a block diagram which showing an interrelationship between the subject area, curriculum, objective and job profile. The core technology, these are the subjects are there. You might study it in first year also, link diagram and block diagram, but that was for first year. This is not this is for second year. So it includes the core technology subject like pharmacology and toxicology, hospital clinical pharmacy, DSBM, pharmaceutical chemistry 2. Job profiles are more or less similar. Curriculum objectives are again more or less similar to as that of the first year syllabus. Next, the graphical structure which give the easy to understand the concept, and which includes these all like problem, applications, procedure, principle, concept and the fact. You might study it in first year also, the same thing you already studied. Now two different types of skill that we have to learn or understand while performing the practicals and while doing the practicals, that we are calling practical skills. So these are of basically two types, intellectual skill and the motor skill. In intellectual skill we have to intellectually involve, for example understanding the concept of experiment, understanding the test procedure, analyze and interpret the observations, understand the precautions and plan experiment and perform the calculations. All these things in which you have to intellectually involve. So this is the way that is called as an intellectual skill, in which we have to intellectually involve and we have to develop this skill while performing the practicals. And motor skill, in which we have to physically involve, like for example ability to write the systematic report, handle the equipment, take and record the observations, then refer the standard literature, work accordingly, plan and working in a group. All these things including the motor skill. This again we have to develop, and physically in which we have to involve. Now as far as the experiments are concerned, so there are 28 experiments in your syllabus. Amongst these 3 are the introductory one, and right from 4 the qualitative analysis started. Means basically there are 3 types of experiment you have to perform. That is, first is a qualitative analysis that we call systematic qualitative analysis, QA, and identification test, and third type of experiment that we are calling synthesis. So this is the first type of experiment, right, starting from experiment number 4, to identify the given organic drug compound by systematic qualitative analysis, that is SQA. So in which we'll provide you the unknown sample, that is from D1 to D10. Okay, and you have to perform the systematic qualitative analysis. So this is the one type of experiment in your syllabus. Second type of experiment that we are talking about, the identification test, so in which known compounds is to be provided, and as per the official pharmacopoeia you have to perform these identification test as you are already performing in the first year. So right from 14 experiment to 21 experiment you have to perform the identification test, and next right from 22 experiment to 26 experiment there are synthesis, so in which you have to formulate or you have to prepare the new product. Okay, new product, that is the synthesis. You have to perform synthesis and you have to synthesize the new product with a new chemical formula, new molecular formula and new unique structural formula. So new compound is being forming or preparing, that we are calling synthesis. So this is the third type of experiment in your syllabus, and all these 28 experiments we will divide as per your first sessional, second sessional and third sessional syllabus. So no need to worry that all at a time you have to perform, no need to worry. Okay, these are the some certain instruction for students. instruction for student, and it will be same as like that of the first year. You already studied or you already read this instruction, you are already following this instruction while coming and working in the laboratory. So these are the certain instructions for you people, student, and this is again the list of experiment. And next most important thing is that is the experiment number 1. So experiment number 1, introduction to laboratory, in which the prior concept, you know, what is curriculum, what is scope of work, scope of subject, planning, assessment, what is that. The new concept as far as the laboratory experiment, this again we know very well that there are 3 basic skills we have to perform and we have to adopt while the practical syllabus or practical curriculum, that is intellectual skill, motor skill and attitude. Intellectual skill, in which we have to intellectually involve and we have to develop these skills, and motor skill, in which we have to physically involve and we have to develop the skill. Next, attitude. So attitude means in which we have to develop the professional attitude. Logical thinking, this is again the most important things, which is again a new concept. So logically we have to think why everything is being occurring, why we are following this step, why we are getting these types of observations, and what are the logics behind that, and what are the correlationship with the results. Okay, why we are getting this observation, how we can interpret these observations with the results. So this by the logical thinking, everything or during performing the practicals we how to adopt these logical thinking skill, which include the systemic approach, content analysis and sequential planning. Next is a balance room. Okay, before directly going to the balance room, we'll see the layout of the pharmaceutical chemistry 2 lab, so that you will get what is exactly the balance room, where it is situated. So this is a layout of the pharmaceutical chemistry 2 lab, in which we can see that there are different areas, like for example this is the entrance, main entrance, this is the second entrance for getting entry into the pharmaceutical chemistry 2 lab. Now as you see on this side, so there are shelves placed which include or which has different types of chemical. For example, this is the shelf, this is the cupboard for the fuming or flammable chemicals, inflammable chemicals, and this is the cupboard for storing an acids. Now this is a working area or working platform, in which we are exactly handling the equipment and handling the glasswares, keeping the glasswares and working and performing the steps. And this is the sitting arrangement, that is tools are there, and exactly this is a working area. Now as far as this is again one of the small like heating mantle and heating area is there, closed chamber in which the heating mantles are there, in which the heating can be performed. Next, this is the weighing area, in which different types of balances are kept. And we can weigh the particular chemicals. This is the washing area, in which we have to wash the glasswares, and this we have to wash the hands while performing and after performing. This is the fuming cupboards, which kept to the one side of the laboratory or one corner of the laboratory, in which we are going to handle the fume forming chemicals or fume forming reactions. So this is all about the layout of the pharmaceutical chemistry 2 lab. Now if you are talking about the next part of our lab manual, that is the balance room. So balance room which contains the different types of balances, a closed area in which different types of balances are kept, and particularly in the balance room we have to deal with the analytical balance. Okay, analytical balance, if we are talking about the analytical balance, so there are 2 types of analytical balance. One is a digital analytical balance and second one is a 2-pan analytical balance. Okay, if you are talking about this 2-pan analytical balance, so this is actually will have the wooden cupboard or wooden chamber, closed chamber, in which the 2-pan balance has been kept. And normally we have to keep a measures or a weight to the left pan and the weighing substances in the right pan, in order to ease for handling, to adding and withdrawing the chemical by right hand. So we are keeping normally it is ideally we have to keep the substance or substance to be weighed to the right pan of the analytical balance. Okay, and in case of the digital balance, if you are using digital analytical balance or electronic analytical balance, so there is no 2-pan, only a single pan is there, in which we have to tear and place a butter paper and tear and add a substance, and they are more delicate actually. Okay, and they are more accurate also. So this is a analytical balance. Next, if you are talking about the fuming cupboard, so this is a separate fuming cupboard situated to the one corner of the laboratory, and which is a closed one, which has an exhaust system connected to this. So normally the fume forming chemicals and fume forming reactions to be performed by inside this fuming cupboard by inserting our hands or hands of the working person inside, and he can perform he can handle the fume forming chemicals kept inside the fuming chamber, or he can perform the addition of the reagents and fume forming reactions can be performed within a chamber, and if the fumes are forming, they are being expelled out through this exhaust system, and no fumes will be exposed to these persons. So whatever the persons which are working in the area, in the laboratory, will not be exposed to the hazardous fumes. The fumes are being expelled out. So that is the importance of the fuming cupboard, that to perform the fume forming reactions and to handle and to keep the fume forming chemicals inside. Okay, so that is the importance of the fuming cupboard. Now this we had seen already, the balance room, analytical balance, type of analytical balance. Next, the fuming cupboard, what is the importance of the fuming cupboard. Now as far as the procedure is concerned, so there are, say, you have to read these procedures step by step, just as I explained. This will be the same. Now you have to complete the observation table, and in which you have to write the name of equipment, specification, and use in laboratory and use in industry. So I'm giving one of the demo for ABS refractometer, so you can judge what is the name of equipment. That will be the ABS refractometer. I'm uploading a video in Moodle in order to understand the demonstration of one of these instrument. So you can, from that demo, you can write the specification, use in laboratory, use in industry. Okay, name will be that ABS refractometer. Now the further things you don't have to be complete, just you can write the name of chemicals which may be present in the laboratory. As per your previous experiment, you already visited the pharmaceutical chemistry 2 lab, so pharmaceutical chemistry lab. So which types of chemical reagents and in which capacity they are kept. So you can write this as per your convenience. And next things you cannot, because you are not physically visiting to the laboratory, so next things will not be there. Now there are some other questions which you have to complete, right, from group A, group B, and group C. So these questions you have to complete in the space, or you have to write in your own handwriting in the space provided for the answers. Okay, so the demonstration is already provided in a Moodle. You can refer that one. And this was all about the introduction of the first experiment in our pharmaceutical chemistry 2 lab. Okay, thank you so much.